Hi everyone, so I wanted to make an updated video about what's happening today. So it's pretty much the same thing. They're still trying to say that I don't have any freedom of speech. They're the court is imposing improper laws, saying that things that don't apply to me, that they're trying to enforce that. I think this person, obviously I filed a complaint against this person, this judge, but clearly at this point it's like even more and more clear to everybody that her decisions are not proper, because the law where it says, like, she's trying to imply a law saying that I cannot talk about ongoing cases relating to my family, involving the Children in Society on my YouTube or my social media, basically. But I filed a document with the court saying that the rule, like the first rule, it says that in this section applies to media, television, and radio. That is the first rule in that section. So 87 subsection 1 of Child, Youth, and Family Services Act. For some reason, this judge believes that social media is radio, television. I'm not really sure how she thinks that, to be honest, but I don't know. But I already filed an appeal that, like, I wanted her to cancel her order. She didn't want to. She's saying that, the social media is radio and television. I don't really know where she got this information, to be honest. But I'm gonna go ahead and appeal that this order should have been canceled, for various reasons. First of all, not a proper hearing was held, no written submission was made. I was not even given a proper opportunities to make submissions. This judge just does whatever the other party says. Like, she doesn't really look at the laws, or I'm not really sure if when she reads the law, if anything really goes through registers in her head or not. But anyways, so I think that they're going to be enforcing like improper costs and stuff. So it's likely she's gonna try to commit fraud for this. And so I will let everybody know if they try to commit fraud. I already contacted the counsels for the Crown's attorney, and I also contacted the Toronto Police already regarding this, that something like that might be coming. So they're all kind of have the heads up for that. But yeah, so first of all, my child protection application ended. Secondly, most of the videos were made after. And third, none of them were like, the videos were all posted after the expiration date for this person to make a judgment. Obviously she doesn't follow any law, which is really weird. A judge should be following the law, enforcing law. Instead, she just does whatever she wants. Clearly, this person, I don't really know why she wants to enforce law on me when she doesn't even follow anything herself, and this law doesn't even apply to me. So yeah, so she's totally ignoring the fact that this law is made for radio, television, and press. So I don't really know what will happen. So there's only two outcomes: that they will try to commit fraud and try to extort money. So I'm not really sure if they're making improper court orders, cost orders, to try to ask me for bribe, or if this money is being used for money laundering purposes. I don't really know what they will do. I guess we'll find out in a week or two. I don't think they'll wait that long, to be honest. So once that happens, I'll let everybody know. And secondly, um the other thing they can do is try to go through the police, because right now they're desperate. They know that they're committing crime and stuff. So they know that they're kind of desperately trying to stop me from probably appearing in court and stuff, to make my statements, so that this shows that I'm correct, and they probably committed fraud or whatever. I don't really know, but their actions at this point, to be honest, just looks very, very desperate. I'm not really sure why yet. I guess hopefully in time I'll figure that out. But like it could be only like one reason, that either they're trying to launder money for bribing purposes, or that they're trying to stop me from going to court hearings, so that they can get away with whatever it is that they are doing. So I'm not really sure what that is, to be honest. So I mean, I didn't break any law. Again, this is not media, television, or I mean, this is not press, radio, or television. So there's already a video, with bringing attention to the Toronto Police regarding this. And if they are going to enforce like improper cost and stuff, asking me for money, obviously I'm going to be appealing that as well, that they actually have no grounds for asking me for money. This is extortion and threat, and this is extremely serious. So I'll look into that. Weirdly, right now in for Toronto courts, they launched a new portal as of like mid-October of this year, which is it's a lot different than what it was. I think for the other parts of Ontario, they still have the old ones, but the new ones are a little bit different. You can actually request access to filings, and you can also look at, like, when you're filing documents, you can look at all the registered representatives that are I don't know, like, that the court knows about. For some reason, the opposing party, like the Children's Society, has a lawyer. I mean, it is an outside third party lawyer that is practicing law, but for some reason I was not able to find her law license, nor was I able to. I mean, if somebody was practicing law, it would be under a business if you're an outside lawyer. So I was not able to find her place of business as registered either. And this is the lawyer that actually did the trial for my child protection. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know anything about this stuff. This portal thing is very new, so I'm not really sure what's happening. But I'm kind of curious. I did email the Children's Society asking, like, are you sure this person actually has a legal license, or that it didn't expire or whatever. So I don't really know if they will actually do anything, but that is something that you should look into, that. And if somebody's giving away your child and stuff, like, does that person even have, can that person represent another person, an organization, or not? So that is something to look into. I was able to find couple of people. There's few people involved in the proceeding. I could not find that their registered license for two individuals, and then I found it for one person without an issue, and then for this, out of the two-person, one of them has a registered business. I was able to find that, but I was not able to find her license either. So I'm not really sure what's happening. If the Toronto Police is going to be reviewing these things, I think they also should look into the parties involved in the proceeding. If those parties have any, if they're personally have connection with the judges, directly, or via family member or friend. If there's possibility of a money laundering, they need to kind of cross-reference it and see if these people may be somehow involved in child trafficking. If judges are involved that are appointing people that are close to them or related to them or their friends for them to make money, and go from there. So if any cost order is made, I will be including the Toronto Police as a party on that and serve them on the cost order just for them to investigate possible money laundering and hate crime, and child trafficking as well. So if such order is issued, it will be sent to the councils, the Toronto Police as well. So because fraud is a very serious crime, and obviously because like for some reason I think some judges, I don't know, whatever, but the main thing is that they need to look into the person that is representing the Children in Society on my case. Like you said, she's a third party lawyer, she's not employed by the Children in Society, and for any reason if that uh, party is somehow involved with any of the judges in the courthouse where the child protection application was heard, and if these individuals are intentionally creating costs and making the proceedings longer so that their friends and family can make money, so that is a form of money laundering. Also, if this individual actually has a license to practice law or not, I'm actually going to look into it, and tomorrow I'm going to contact the law society to find out if this information is available to them, and if there's a expiry date for their this lawyer's license and their business, because that is very serious. So yeah, so that being said, another appeal has been filed. I'm pretty sure there's a tiny error in there because I wasn't really quite sure how to file this because the whole system is new. So I guess I'll find out and make the corrections if needed. Nowadays, I don't have to restart the whole process again. I just make the corrections. So if there's minor issues and stuff, I can just like delete and upload new documents that is required. But other than that, I guess this is a new one that will be starting. I don't know when this will be heard. It's just still being processed by the court. So I guess I will inform everybody. I will inform everybody if these people are asking me to pay them money, and if there's more cost orders made, I will be appealing it, and I will be serving the Toronto Police with a copy of that notice of appeal for them to look into what the F is going on here, and possible fraud and money laundering and child trafficking. So I guess we'll figure that out when that comes. But if the upcoming court hearing, which is scheduled for December 3rd, 2025, is if I'm successful, the entire protection file will be dismissed. So we probably wouldn't have to go through the whole process again. I will still be asking for costs because I did take the initiative of filing the documents and stuff. So but the cost to dismiss it would be probably like very minimal, like a couple $100. But yeah, so yeah, so I'll let everybody know what's happening. I'm hoping this hearing is held sooner than later, and the file is dismissed sooner than later, so that we can all avoid unnecessary stress. And in terms of this judge denying today my motion, that totally ignoring the fact that this entire section, the Rule 87, is made for press, media, and television. Press, radio, and television. My bad. It's really weird. I was supposed to appear before her next Monday morning, but I don't think I'm gonna do that because she's just gonna do whatever it is that she wants, and I don't think I want to waste any more time unnecessarily talking to somebody who's not gonna, nothing I say is just not gonna work. So it's pointless to try to have a really constructive conversation based on law with somebody who just nothing that I say will actually like register in their mind. So So yeah, so they can go do whatever it is they want, and then I will look into it when they actually try to enforce any of the laws. The only worries right now is that, the appeal has been filed, served already, and has been filed for processing. And if any cost order is made while this is being processed, obviously that's going to be even yet another appeal. And if they're asking me for money after committing fraud, obviously the Toronto Police will be included in that, so they should be aware of that you're going way too far to extort money, and this is not going to work, and that the police will be notified, and their counsels will have to appear in court to to look into the laws and stuff that are being applied to for this. So that being said, stress. I don't want to be here. My family already knows that I want to move out of Canada. I'm actually working on another document related to another file from a year ago or so that has been delayed for due to unavailability in Toronto court. That is nothing to do with my son. So kind of working on that. Finished the first document, working on the second document, hopefully hoping that it will be I'll be able to file it sometime tomorrow, if not over the weekend for sure. And yeah, just I'll go from there. Hopefully if things work out for the best. If my son is not returned back to me, I'm gonna be leaving right away. If my son is returned back to me, then I'm going to have to go through the entire process of relocation and application and stuff with the court before I actually relocate. So I guess we'll see how that goes. But basically, if my son's not coming home, then I don't have to do any notice of relocation. I can just move right away. So I don't know what will happen. I guess I'll let everybody know as the day goes. As of right now, where I want to move is Greece. I don't really know what city yet, but I know it will be either Athens or in the surrounding areas, like within an hour of the Athens, surrounding Athens area. So yeah, it's just a matter of when. So I guess we'll find out when the time comes. Hopefully I can convince the court on that hearing that I want to leave, and my file was delayed improperly, and I don't want to delay this anymore. And this person, that if we delay it, there will be a person who has a history of committing fraud and has been found guilty of committing fraud, will be making more money, which they should not be allowing. Instead, they should be helping the person that has suffered a lot of harm because of the delays caused by the other person who committed fraud. So it will be in the best interest for me to try to resolve the case as soon as possible, and move out of Canada as soon as possible, or stay out of Canada for as long as possible. So that's so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they understand. I don't know, but when the time comes, I'll let everybody know. So that's all for today. I still continue to get threatened. The judgments are made without proper orders, proper law, proper there's potentially, it hasn't happened yet, potentially there will be fraud coming soon where improper costs will be imposed. That does not apply to me. This is freedom of violation of freedom of speech and freedom of expression, section 11B. So I may even if somebody tries to impose cost and stuff, nobody has imposed anything yet, but if they try to impose cost and stuff, then I will be bringing an application in the Human Rights Charter against whoever it is that tries to enforce those things, and ask them to pay me instead. And I also will be appealing the cost orders, involving the Toronto Police to investigate fraud. So that's pretty much that. I guess we will see how it goes, and we'll go